definitely check out the private Discord server, guys. It's a WOMP link below in the description. There's a free trial, and look at this. MSTR calls made 230%. Lululemon calls made almost 200%. All of our trades are tracked here, wins and losses. Check us out. It's a great community. Okay, we gotta talk about the whole San Francisco situation. Now, San Francisco is infamous for having illegal drugs in public, massive homelessness problem. In fact, it's so bad that basically the majority of retailers are just fleeing downtown San Francisco. Like, when you have the Old Navy leaving, the Whole Foods leaving, and even the Amazon Go leaving, it's probably not a great place to open a business because generally these anchor stores are pretty strong. They have a lot of liquidity, and even if there's like bad economic times or a downturn for the city, these retailers generally want to stay, right? Because if they leave and come back, it's going to cost them even more money to do so. But they pretty much hire analysts, they hired people to look into the city's future and politics, and they have decided that it's impossible in the near 10 years to make any sort of money in San Francisco because it got stuff like this, right? So San Francisco's supervisor blames capitalism for the city's sprawling homeless problem and says that it's counterproductive to arrest people doing illegal drugs in public, which is a really wild statement to make. And so far, one of the reasons why people just don't want to visit San Francisco, one of the reasons why the tourism industry here is so lacking. Like, if you just look at the Airbnb San Francisco, it's so bad. Like, you got a lot of these units having price cuts. A lot of these units nobody wants to stay in. And even the big hotel chains are saying that bookings compared to pre-pandemic is down about 30 to 40%. OpenTable, which is this app or company that lets you do reservations for restaurants, you probably have used it. Even OpenTable is like, yeah, San Francisco 41% decline in usage for our app. So that means no tourism, no businessmen, and no office employees. And Airbnb guys even said the tourism is so low that they only rent out 2 to 3 nights per month. So I don't really think San Francisco is going to recover with this sort of attitude. Now, I know San Francisco is a pretty great place, of course, before the pandemic. It was somewhat decent. They still had like a little bit decent structure. A lot of office workers were walking around. And there was still some sanity in the city and housing prices kept going up. But now, look at this, right? You can't just be blaming capitalism for this situation. Obviously, the city is making a lot of money. They tax a lot of companies billions of dollars. But they can't solve a regular homeless problem. I mean, if you look at places like Florida, you don't really have this sort of issue. Go to Texas, you don't really have this sort of issue. Now, there's obviously homelessness everywhere, but not as the same extent as San Francisco. I mean, if you go to like Orlando, Miami, or Austin's downtown, you don't see like whole entire blocks and neighborhoods just filled with people doing needles, drugs, and just setting up a homeless encampment. You don't really see that. And what's also pretty crazy is San Francisco can clean up. Just look at before the APEC meeting and after the APEC meeting. You could see this day and night how clean the city is during the massive tech event and the massive Asia Pacific conference. When all these CEOs come, when the Chinese president comes, and when a lot of other world leaders from Asia come, it is spotless, it is clean and shiny, and then the moment everyone leaves, it just reverts back to the same old San Francisco. It just looks like this every single day, which is pretty crazy. And you know what? A lot of the residents are pretty fed up with the situation. Residents don't actually like it. I know a lot of people say, oh, a lot of these, they get what they're voted for, but guess what? A lot of people in San Francisco, a lot of the business owners, they don't like this at all, right? They want the streets to be cleaned up. And at the same time, a lot of the San Francisco council guys actually vote against cleaning up tents. But guess what? If there's a bunch of tents outside the Cocoa Republic, I doubt people are going there to shop, and give it a few months, it's probably going to close down. Even the Westview Mall in San Francisco, like their biggest mall, is losing money. In fact, they lost so much money that they straight up just shut down. And what's crazy about this is Westfield even said that their other locations, even their Australian locations, don't have vacancies up to 50%. It's only San Francisco's location where the vacancies are 50%. Their other locations are less than 8%. Okay, some are completely filled up. Malls are still very popular in big downtown cities, but not San Francisco. It's completely empty. And it's actually kind of freaky to see that kind of stuff. Some San Francisco stores shut down self-checkouts to stop shoplifters. You know, a lot of the business owners and a lot of these guys are just taking things to themselves, right? It's basically useless to try to call the city council. It's kind of useless also to just call 911 as well. So you might as well just take things to your own hands. People are literally locking ice cream. Okay, I'm pretty sure the locks for the ice creams are probably more expensive than ice cream themselves. That's how much money some of these stores are losing. If you look at this, you already have Safeway locations receiving extremely high-tech upgrades to stop shoplifting. Like, seriously, these stores are legitimately spending more money to prevent shoplifting than just making money. And at this point, they're just trying to stop people from stealing their ice cream and stealing like their celery sticks. It's actually getting to this level. And plus, like, even if they get caught, that's like a big if. It's usually just a slap on the wrist. It's a misdemeanor. There really isn't that much they could do about it. And this is the reason why California in general is having a slight increase in rent, but San Francisco and the Bay Area is having a humongous decrease in rent. Because if you just govern the city like a little bit normally, it wouldn't really get that bad. But some people even say it's almost like they're trying to make the city super bad. I mean, look at San Francisco's rental market experiences the steepest decline since 2021, as median prices and demand drop tremendously. In November, one-bedroom apartments had a median rent of about $2,200, down almost 20% from $2,600 back before the pandemic. Now, what's really crazy about this is $2,100, $2,200 may seem like a lot, but just wait a little bit. Compared to other cities, it's considered super cheap for a one-bedroom apartment, considering San Francisco is a high-tech city. Now, what's even worse about this is many landlords are offering 2 months or 1 month of free rent or discounted parking. They're offering a lot of free stuff. Okay, free stuff that actually make this pretty appealing. The rental market's cooling off. There's fewer people hunting for apartments in the city. It's a trend that is showing no signs of life returning. Seems like the market's getting bad. And because so many companies are leaving, you got stuff like this, right? 201 Spear Street is not a bad location. It's near the water. It's near the Salesforce Tower. It's in one of the best office places. In fact, right next door, there's Stewart Lane. They're literally selling one bedrooms for $2 million if you're interested. One of the most expensive condo projects in all of the West Coast is right next to the tower that sells for 50% off. Not exactly reassuring for buyers who want to invest in this condo building, considering your neighboring building that's a stone's throw away sold for 50% off discount. Now, it's not the full story, considering they tried to list this for like 180 million, but they sold it for 60 million. It's pretty bad to see this kind of stuff. Yeah, San Francisco is getting worse, and I don't really think workers are returning. Even with multi-billion-dollar bets, they're not returning at all. And thanks for watching, guys. Comment below. Make sure you check out the private Discord server, guys. Seriously, trade with us, make some money with us, and enjoy some cash. And plus, all our plays are listed wins and losses, and we have way more wins than losses. Just follow the trades. A lot of people like them. A lot of money is coming in. A fantastic community. Check us out. There's a free trial, so there's nothing to lose. Womp.com, link below. It's a massive company. Check it out.